racing for the first time this season. 3 hours of GT action, it's go.
It's very tight as they come down. Group of cars coming in. This has all got trouble written all over it. There's a G3 car.
Drop downhill, they head towards the Aqua Minerale. Imola, of course.
There's another one off through the gravel. Are as wide as possible as they drop downhill, putting that truck inside line. Yes,
Oh, he's in.
through he goes.
Apex Online Racing is sponsored by Elgato, who created this lovely Stream Deck. For more information about the Stream Deck, the link is in the description below.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome along to the second round of Superpole for the second round of the Endurance Championship, brought to you by Apex Online Racing. So this is the Superpole beginning for Tier 2 before tomorrow's 12-hour race of Kyalami, and I am joined this evening by Chinson on the comms. Good evening, Chinson.
Good evening, Tim. Good evening, everybody. How are we all doing?
Well, the chat is already going mad for this. So it's the Tier 2 guys first. I won't lie, there is quite a lot of presumably Russian, so I apologise if I'm not reading them all out, as a lot of them I would only be mispronouncing terribly. So, but thank you ever so much for joining us this evening. Let's have a quick look and see what we can read out in the chat. We've got loads and loads of Fatal Vasca. Who else have we got? And well, it would have really appeared that the fan favourite this evening is Fatal Vasca. Everyone cheering them on. Sorry. Got Tier 2 Iran racing team. Big thumbs up for them. But here we go. We are going live. They are forwarding to the session now. So
yeah, plenty of drivers taking a lot of time in practice, which with Kyalami I can completely understand.
Yeah, it's quite a difficult circuit. It's a really fun circuit, but it is certainly a challenging track. It's not somewhere you can just jump on without any kind of a pre-existing practice. It's certainly not something like that. I'm just having a little look. It's coming up at the moment that we've got quite a long period of qualifying. I'm not entirely sure if that is correct or not, but we will wait and see. It's coming up with 2 hours qualifying. So, as a quick... Oh, no, carry on.
Oh, sorry. Just in the track race control, getting the 52 to start a start lap. So, I'm assuming a tiered release for Superpole. So there's a lot of time for qualifying yet. Hello, Nigel in the chat. Currently, it's Nigel's teammate currently wearing on the track, Sam Harpham, in the Scuderia Ravioli.
Oh, there we go. We're actually on board with him. So let's have a quick read through of the teams that have made it into the Superpole for Tier 2 this time round. We've got Iran Racing Team. And then also we have the Blues, Indian Racing Community Porsche Boys, name TBD Race KUNOS-Simulazioni. I believe this is Highway Racing, Valkyrie by Francochamps Miniatures. I do apologise if I mispronounced this one. I think this is Pleco Cars. Then Atlas Racing, MSL Racing number 482, and as you said a moment ago, Scuderia Ravioli.
Yeah, so quite a bunched up field actually, considering all the times for a lot of the drivers. So they are all hitting I don't think I see a mid 140. They're all high 140s to low 141s, so should be quite interesting. And MSO Racing 482 is being released onto track as well.
Fantastic. Okay, we're just staying on board with Sam Hartman for this first bit, as this is now his first flying lap. So just keeping an eye on him for a moment, and we will change over in a moment to, is it Dan Loffin, who's just been released?
And a Porsche as well. That's a bold choice of car around Kyalami, especially given the Porsche's notorious quick switch of grip level, whether it wants to have grip or not.
Yeah, and to be fair though, it's got to be said, I've seen a lot of people saying that they really struggle with low fuel when they're in the Porsche, that it doesn't handle as well when it's on lower fuel. So I wonder, obviously,
no surprise.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that rear engine, front fuel tank. I am intrigued to see how this works for them all this evening, because obviously they're trying to run the car as light as possible, but then they're in the midst of possibly having some understeer issues. So be interesting to wait and see how this goes on. Oh. Hartman has pulled off the track. Okay. He's gone back to the pit. So no time set by him.
Possibly a mistake by Hartman then. Well, it doesn't appear that he's lost any time anywhere. Unless he's come off and it's unless he's cut the track and it's invalidated.
Quite possibly. Quite possibly. Let's have a quick look at the chat. Can we switch to onboard, please? Yeah. Oh, sorry, I just literally pulled away from onboard again then. So
yeah. Anton, is Superpole split into two tiers? It is. So we've currently got the Tier 2 Superpole currently going round, and then we'll have the Tier 1 Superpole slightly later on.
So really nice and clean there through Sector 1. And who is that has just been released? We also have, this is Usama. He's also out on track as well. We're just going to stay on board for a little bit longer, just for this lap, to see what time he puts in.
Picking up a little bit of dust coming through the there. Not too much of a problem, just as long as you don't smash the curb on the outside coming to the left hand, because it's a blind crest left hand, so that can make or break your lap, but also can make or break your car, depending on how wrong you get it.
Yeah, to be fair, you can sacrifice a lot of speed in that corner, and obviously then you've got this fast downhill section. If you come out of it slow, you're going to be very slow on the downhill section as well. So, yeah, it takes a big chunk of inside curb there.
Porsche's really good in a straight line, but yeah, especially on that low fuel, can be quite a challenge to handle. Although Sousa does look like he's going very smoothly with it, which I have nothing bad to say about that. If you can handle Porsche smoothly around Kyalami, hats off to you.
There we go. So our first time set, a 1:41.553. So now we have jumped on board with the AOR Motorsport, and this is Usama behind the wheel.
Yeah, he's just coming across the line now to start his lap, and the Plesco car will be released as well. So who have we got for Plesco? Oh, Playco, sorry. So who do we have? Sevchik in the 81 Mercedes. That's another interesting choice. Whereas the Porsche is quite front limited on low fuel, Mercedes can be very, very tail happy, which is why I choose not to drive that car.
I've just started using it. I was always an Audi man, and I've gone over to the Mercedes now, so giving it a bit of a go.
I've done 2 races at Kyalami. The first one was for the RCR Lambo Cup. That was interesting to learn a Lambo around here. Surprisingly fun. And then last week before, I did it in a Bentley. No, I did it in a Lambo again.
I think a bit of a mistake at the top of the hill there. So just on board. Sorry to butt in with you quickly there. Apparently it is it's Plesco, apparently.
Plesco, okay.
It is Plesco, apparently, that name as well. So here we go. This is his first flyer. What can Usama do? Gets the power down. Got to be said that these cars make an absolutely fantastic noise.
Yeah. Aston runs a little bit wide at the hairpin. Just watching the delay. It's a little bit wide, but it's not too bad, because you may lose a bit of time on the turn in, but you can get a lot more traction on the exit, so shouldn't be too bad.
Oh, okay, second place. Not quite able to break it, that one.
141.9.
That's not bad.
Still a decent time. It's well within what a lot of the drivers were doing, but no doubt there will be possibly a couple of setup changes depending on how they go. Sam Harpen still to set a lap. Valkyrie is next up. That is the McLaren. Ooh, McLaren.
So I wonder if, to a certain extent, oh, I said it wrong earlier on as well, because that's how it's spelled very differently to how it is on screen. The Plesco cars, who we're on board with now, or watching them currently, that was the name who I thought it was Playco earlier, but it's definitely not, so that's my bad. Apologies about that. So let's jump on board with him. Pretty smooth
best cars in the rain. Aston's a pretty good car already, to be perfectly honest. I mean, especially if you're starting off in something like ACC, it's definitely a good car to go for. Wouldn't recommend the Mercedes as a starting car, personally. Get to grips with the physics first, and then try and skid your Mercedes around a lap. Or at least that's what I tried to do when I tried taking it around Spa.
Just a quick one for the chat. Who's it? Sergey Mace. Too bad we don't get to see the normal onboard cameras. Yeah, we don't tend to use the actual in-game cameras, I'm afraid. I do apologise about that. We can give you... That one's the closest to it we can get, but apart from that we don't use it. So this is going to be his first flying lap. What kind of speed have we seen? Straight up into second place, so a slight improvement there. Second place is taken away. So currently...
Merck's got a lot of weight to throw around, so very very nicely done. And then just pulling off at the end of the track, which I'm assuming they've been instructed to for the...
yeah, I think they get an out lap, one flying lap, and then that's it. They're coming in again. They have to wait their turn. So this is
McLaren.
Now Nicholas Tardioli for the Valkyrie Esports 720 Team Yellow. So just making sure I'm looking at the right person here.
Yeah, nice and clean through turn one there, using a lot of the curb, which is ideally what you want. Just use as much of the road. Very clean through.
The McLarens did really well in the wet at Monza in our Sprint Cup series. Really well. They were sort of pretty dominant in that wet race. So if it's wet these might be one to look out for. But even in the dry, it looks fairly planted. So this is that terrifying blind left-hand corner at the top of the hill before you dive it down into the crocodiles.
Yeah, you got to choose your braking point. Make sure you get your choose your braking point, stick with it, let off the throttle and turn in, because otherwise you're just going to lock up and end up in the grass.
So who is our next man out? I believe that is car number
969.
Yep. So coming up to the penultimate turn, just clips the giant curb on the inside all the way to the outside before he cuts back to the left. And the final sprint to the line, not running too much curb. What are we going to see here?
Keeping very
puts himself on pole. Beautiful. A 1:41.490. Great effort by him.
It's definitely a definitely close to Sue's, a 0.063 faster. So, excuse me. There's definitely time to find here.
Oh yeah, I think obviously some of these guys maybe slightly different track temperature or ambient temperature to when they were doing practice, so they may be having to tweak a little bit. Obviously, when you're trying to do these quick laps, everything has to be absolutely perfect with your setup.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, if it's a first flying lap, I'd play it safe, especially in some of these corners. Most notably, the penultimate one with that horrifically large sausage curb on the inside.
Yes. I think towards the end we might see some slightly more brave manoeuvres. Oh, that's a big chunk of inside curb there. It's worked out for him all right, though.
The next car out is for named TDB Race KUNOS, and that is Wouter Billen in another Aston. So 5 Astons today, 2 Porsches, a Ferrari, a Merc and a McLaren. So
I'm surprised to see so many Astons up at the top, but fair play. Obviously a fairly solid package.
Yeah, I mean, there's 2 cars that are always a safe bet: the Bentley and the Aston. The Bentley can just chew curbs like nothing. Although that last sausage curb is a bit of a problem for it. Not from experience.
Yeah, nothing can defeat the big yellow curb on the inside of that penultimate turn. Right, so here we go. Speaking of the penultimate turn, here it comes. Ooh, little jump off that curb, but manages to hold it together. What are we going to see here?
Nice and tight.
So, for Harway Racing, puts him up in third position, and that was a lap time of 1:41.6. And Wouter Billen, we are on board with him now. So he's still on his out lap at the moment, but we'll be with him for this full flying lap. Right, and here we go on his flyer. So down into turn 1, going to leave it absolutely to the last second to brake. There it is, swings it across, nicely clipping the apex. Nicely through there, not running too wide, not getting onto the AstroTurf and slowing himself down. Always find the difference between mid-engine cars and front-engine cars. The difference of where people turn in and brake is always very interesting here.
Yeah, especially with a lot of the front-engine cars, you've got a lot of weight hanging out over the axle, so you can afford to just chuck it in a little bit more aggressively. But in some cars, the overall weight still counts, and you need to watch out for the back end. But doesn't really seem to be an issue with the Aston, to be perfectly honest.
No, it's really good. It's good seeing this many Astons up here at the top. I say sometimes it's not always the top choice of car that you see. As I think previously this season, running on the current BOP, from what I've seen, the McLarens were very, very dominant all the way through the season 8 of the Sprint series. But obviously this being the Endurance series, very different. These cars have got to go a much, much further distance. Oh, I thought he was going to clip the curb there, managed to keep it off. So here we go. What sort of time is Billen going to put in?
Very tidy through the last corner as well. Not taking any curve, I don't think, so...
And he puts himself on pole, 141.488. Great effort by him.
That was a very tidy lap as well. I think there's a fair amount of time to come from that Aston yet.
I would say so. I say, yeah, it didn't look scrappy at all, did it? It looked very sort of planted and considered the whole way. So this is Aurora. Just trying to work out
This is for Indian Racing Community Porsche Boys.
Nice.
I believe, yes, Garov Aurora. Out of everything, I do love the engine of the Porsche. It does sound good.
Ooh, a little bit squirrely there, so he would have lost a little bit of time there. I think he just ran a little bit too much inside curb, tried to get on the power, maybe a little bit too soon, but he might better make it back up.
Yeah. A little bit of a wider line through that long right-hander there, so...
Oh, and a bit of a mistake there again.
In the car there. Yeah. Been fighting the car a little bit, backed out of first couple of that first sharp right-hander. Hopefully he can make a bit more time up in the rest of the lap.
So, seeing as this is their first flying laps, it's quite difficult to be able to see if anyone is up or down on their previous at the moment, obviously. So, just having a quick look at the very best lap that's been done by any of this team was a 141.079. So, I don't think we're going to see that broken this time round. But to get an idea of how quick some of these guys can be, we are going to be looking probably a decrease of half a second on some of these people's lap times. Yeah. Just if they can put it together. Ooh, runs a little bit wide there on the exit. And what have we got? Puts himself in 6th position.
Yeah, that was not gonna lie, that was a little bit of a scruffy lap. Had to get out the throttle a couple of times and keeping a little bit wider than possibly a few other drivers probably would. He kept well away from that curb in the penultimate corner, so not overly pushing.
Very easy once you've made a slight mistake to then sort of be unsettled for the rest of the lap. You sort of, because then you're looking to try and find time, and you know, it can be quite difficult from time to time.
Yeah, just push the card even harder to try and make the time back. We've now got Don Clayton in yet another Aston for the Blues. Very tidy first couple of corners.
I did almost think he was going to run out of road coming out the end of the first complex, but he just managed to hold on to it. I've just seen in the chat, Wildcats, thank you, that's my friends, that is. Thank you very much for that. Apparently they don't like the sound of the Aston Martins. Well, you're going to have to put up with a lot of it in this Superpole session, because half the grid is Aston Martin, so if you've got a Kyalami race coming up, it would seem that Astons are the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, out of all the cars we've got, I've got to say, like, the Aston's probably the one I like the least. I mean, I do love Aston Martin, beautiful car brand, but I don't know, just some of the others sound better. I'm sorry. I will die on this hill if I need to.
It's fair enough. Oh, slight hesitation there on the turn in, I think. Let's see what sort of time that's come up with. Final turn now. Who's our next man out on track, Chinson?
That would be Ranjbar. Let me have a look. I believe that is for the Iran racing team. Mustafa Ranjbar in what I believe is the final Aston for this, at least this Superpole session, in quite a nice livery as well, actually. As they come across the line, where did Clayton put that? Was a 142.6, 142.7. So there's definitely more time to find in that Aston, I think.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, if anyone's going to find it, it's going to be these guys, isn't it, really? Just quickly having an external view, just because some of these guys have got some brilliant liveries, and as much as I like showing them all from the cameras on the dash, it's good to see. This isn't the flying lap, so... Oh no, this is a flying lap, isn't it? So we probably ought to jump back on board with them again.
It's a flying lap. I'm using the helicopter cam just to have a look.
That's fair enough.
Ooh, very tight on the entry there.
Yeah, a little bit of a hesitation on the throttle, though. He sort of got on and off it halfway around the turn. It looks like he was a little bit wide, but managed to hold on to it, keeps it on the track. So down through the S's. Avoids the curb on the inside on both those, to be fair.
Possibly a safe bet lap, and later on they'll push and try and just hit those curves perfectly. Which, cutting that curb, which not seen a lot of drivers do so far. I think I've seen two drivers do that maybe. So
that looked like a slightly different line through there. I mean, obviously, if it works for him, it works for him. So everyone's got their slight variations on sort of. There is obviously an optimum line, but some people can just seem to find pace in odd places. So here we go, penultimate turn.
Keeps well away from that. Final corner, not even touching the inside curb either. Very, very tidy. So 142.2 at the moment.
Yeah, so that puts him in 8th position, as obviously our first man out was Sam Hartman, who didn't have a particularly good session.
I believe that is the first round of hot laps for the moment. Only team to... Okay.
I believe that might be it for Tier 2. I'm just double checking whether they're going out again or whether that was it. They just had the one lap. So just do
That
six
is it.
minutes.
That is it. One flying lap.
Oh, so real shame, obviously, for some of them that dropped out a little bit. That's going to be... Right, yeah, that is it. So, yeah, they had one and done. So we're just going to have to switch servers now. So bear with us for 2 moments while we just have a little change up. So we're going to pop you back on the different screen and we'll turn off the music because nobody needs the loud music quite so loud. So give us 2 minutes while we quickly change over to the servers and we will be with you back for Tier.
Yeah. Mhm. We've got Walter Billen as well, waiting for a small interview. So yeah, I'm trying to do it as well. Where are we? Hello, Walter. Congratulations on pole for Tier 2.
Hello. Thank you very much. I was not really expecting it, but well, somehow we managed to do it.
How did you find your lap round? Was the car controlled, or did you find it a little bit harder to handle?
You mean just today for the Super Bowl?
Yeah, was the did you have any issues controlling the car around the laps?
Yeah, but that was just mainly nerves. I was shaking like the whole lap. I was so nervous all day already. I mean, yeah, I'm just difficult with handling pressure, but well, somehow a lot of practice made the difference, it seems. I did practice quite a bit, like the actual sequence, like it would go in the Superpole, like out lap, hot lap, go back in, out lap, hot lap, go back in, and so on, just to get it like in my brain and how I need to do it. And still, I was not really. I was happy to see myself appear in P1 after my lap, but I was quite sure it was not going to stay there. But somehow, well, I think everybody was a little bit suffering from nerves. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It was actually I tried taking it easy a little bit. I mean, it's like finding a balance between pushing it to the limit, but not going too close to the limit, because the fear of invalidating a lap is so big. Like, it's like you said, there's only one lap. You get one shot. You go out of bounds by like a millimeter. That's it. You're done. And that was like the fear of invalidating the lap was too big to actually be able to push it to the limit. But okay, in the end. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I was we were talking about this already. Like, if we can get a good position on the starting grid, I mean, it always helps to stay out of trouble the first few laps. And like you said, maybe if there's a little bit of battling behind, you can make a little gap. But like you said, it's a 12-hour race. Anything can happen. We don't know what the rain, what the weather's gonna be. If I'm not mistaken, it's a 50-50 rain or dry, so anything can happen. It can change at every moment. So it makes it super exciting, of course, but anything can happen. But again, like you said, it's always nice to start with that tiny little advantage. So yeah, that's we're very happy with that. All right, thank you, thank you. See you tomorrow. Looking forward to it. Bye bye.
Best of luck. Yeah, I'm already having a look at the running order for all the tier ones. There is but one lonely car that is not of a British manufacturer, which is no surprise.
So
Okay,
here we
and
go.
Here we go. So 2 laps. That's all you get. Your 8 lap and your hot lap. Got a couple of famous faces from other AOR events, as well as a couple of other leagues as well. As I've come across 1 or 2 of these names previously.
Just a
People who
quick
have
one.
seen.
Did we
Yeah.
not? Why have my names not updated? Because this
Do
is
apologise.
C Wright. I know. That was my fault. So this is Connor Wright out on track now. I do apologise. My own personal software, for some reason, I'm still seeing the last set of guys, so I'll have to be going off the screens. So just having a quick look. Who have we got here? Oh, Chinson might be muted on stream. Is Chinson muted on stream?
I don't believe so.
Shouldn't be. Speak again for me.
Hello.
No, he's popping up on all my end, so he shouldn't be muted. He's not muted in the Discord.
It is possible my mic cut me off because my phone ended up going off, so it may have triggered it. So if so, I do apologise. I am here. Do not worry.
Right, so this is still the outlap for Connor Wright for Vanwell Motorsport. So let's have a sorry, Van Wall Motorsport. Do apologise for my terrible eyesight. Just having a quick look in the chat quickly. This is now tier 1 we're going across. So where are we looking now? Yeah, this is tier 2. Sorry, this is tier 1 now.
Couple of comments there. I can see Gold Size, good in a Bentley. He is very, very good at Catalonia last time out, and Connor Wright and for Vanwell, they were absolutely flying at Catalonia as well. I think they were one of the contenders for the podium near the end of the race. I can't exactly remember the race results, but it was quite a nice battle for the latter half of the race when it came to the final pit stops as well.
Do my best to get the results up, but obviously this is now a flying lap. So let's jump on with the fan favourite dash cam. Yes, tomorrow I'm going to be doing the... or is it Timasorus, the one doing the interviews at least?
I think they were more asking, like, where am I?
Okay, I was just slightly confused. Apologies about that. Why aren't liveries installed? They should be. The other liveries are up and running, so I don't know why liveries aren't installed if they're not showing up. Is there a fault with this livery, I presume, then? Everyone, I say, we had definitely had custom liveries in the Tier 2 area,
Yeah,
so...
Oh, I'll tell you something. Someone is going to be very happy. The one and only Mr. Rage, because his very famous Meat Snacks team is back. Custom liveries are working for me at the very least. And that's the... So Connor Wright in the McLaren, that's the exact same livery I can see, so...
Connor Wright is grey and lime, isn't it, that colour I'm seeing?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's working for me, so I'm not sure what the issue is if other liveries aren't, but everyone's are installed and they were working. Right, see, right, first lap, so that is a 0.403, so great lap from him.
Yeah, I think there will be quite a good contention for pole today as Jeromovic for Racing Team Serbia in the only non-British manufacturer car goes for his hot lap.
So what can he do? Can he challenge that 141.4? It's quite a task. It's quite a task, but we're going to see it. I mean, we obviously, these guys, the entire top 10 average in pre-qualifying is in the 140s, so they can do it in the low 140s, to be fair. So we might see something that good this evening.
Couple of 139s, a few rare 139s as well, so mid 140s to 140 flats, so should be a good session. So I think the 141.4 is a bit of a slow lap compared to what we've got on the sheet.
Got to be quite scary being the first man out on track in your tier, because you don't want to push so hard that you see, obviously, like we saw with the Ferrari in Tier 2, went a little bit too hard and made a mistake and ended up not setting a time whatsoever. But you don't know what time to beat is, so you don't know if anyone's going to be quicker than you, so you want to go fast, but you don't want to over push it and lose your time completely. So being first out can be a little bit of a curse sometimes. Right.
Yeah, so Jeromovic is coming up to the end of his lap. How does he take penultimate corner?
Ooh, just about holds on to it.
Yeah, we're a little bit wide. Takes a little bit of extra curb on the entry there, so trying to maximise the pace as much as possible.
Here we go. What are we going to see? Straight up on pole. There we go. A 140.779. So we are into the 140s already. Absolutely gargantuan effort, and God, jumping straight on board with Christian Kelly for... Who is Christian Kelly driving for?
Le Mans Rennsport.
Yes, and he's already on his flyer, so he was very quick on his outlap.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things is, like, on your outlap, if you've only got one lap, get your tyres as hot as you can. So that's whether doing a really fast outlap, or you can ride your brakes a little bit as well. But obviously you can get a little bit too hot. I can see there's a fan for Abeladze. I believe that's one of his teammates.
That's
if
Borgodowski.
I am not mistaken, it is one of his teammates.
Yeah, Borgodowski is one of my Tier 2 racers.
So a little bit scruffy coming into the S's. As the 383 of... I always get this wrong. Darren King. I got that wrong so many times. I kept calling him Dominic in Spain. Oh.
It's all right. We'll forgive you. I think it's quite difficult sometimes reading out the names and looking at all the data that's going on. I mean, if you could see the amount of tabs I have open, you'd understand why we make mistakes from time to time. Right, so coming down into the final sector now. Big chunk of inside curb. All the way out to the outside. How's he going to get on here at the penultimate turn? Plays it a little bit safe, doesn't go too tight, but nicely done, doesn't lose too much speed.
There's a throttle there, I think, a little bit.
So it's a 140.7 to beat. What are we going to see? Oh, not quite.
Oh.
Very, very close. That was a good effort, though.
848.
Absolutely fantastic effort.
And for anybody in chat, 0.069. Nice.
Nice.
As the 383 of Darren King. Yet another Aston, wiggling the car a little bit, possibly trying to get a little bit more heat into his front tyres before he starts his lap.
Yeah, leaving it
Comes around
very
the final
late
corner.
to try and have a weave, though, wasn't he? The penultimate turn's a very, very late moment to try and do that. But here we go, on the flyer.
Very wide entry on that one. I don't think I've seen very many cars do that. Quite wide on the exit as well, so that's one of the things. Do you sacrifice speed at the first turn to get a better line and get a bit more speed coming up the hill, or do you?
It's difficult, isn't it? It's very difficult, and I think every car is obviously slightly dominant in different areas. I say we're seeing the Aston Martin's taking a lot more curb on that inside flying right-hander there.
I think that Aston's really pushing. They're going very close to the edge of the track, even on entry into corners. So it'll be exciting to see what this Aston can do in the hands of Darren King, as Bykov of Simware Pro is released for his outlap.
Fantastic. Just having a quick look now. You know, the Dal King community, this team. So coming down now through Crocodiles.
Someone's got a bold prediction in chat. Gold Saw on pole. Well,
Gold
we'll have to
Swords.
see.
So that's for PPR Esports. I know Gold Saw is a very popular man in the Tier 1 chat normally, so not surprised to see a couple of fans here.
I believe he won Catalonia last time, and his pace was absolutely phenomenal. Very tidy final corner for the Aston, though.
So here we go, run to the line. What are we going to see? On pole! Oh, so close as well.
By 66 thousandths.
Yeah, 140.713. Absolutely fantastic effort. Oh, Aston's again getting really hard on the brakes, trying to get some extra heat into the tyres. I almost wonder if he might have ever so slightly jeopardised his overall speed here, though. Not sure. So this is Simware Pro, is the team name, and we are on board with Mikhail Bykov.
I now understand what Valtus Vastra is. Fatal Vasca. Fatal is like, Vasca is subscribe. The like and subscribe team.
Right, okie dokie, that makes sense.
It's all coming together now.
It all comes together.
Soldatov, another name from, well, one of the teammates who we've got Anofriv in the car for qualifying. Bykov's coming up to the S's.
Yeah, nicely done through there. Decent chunk of inside curb on. Oh, just misses the inside curb there.
Running wide on the exit though, so definitely keeping the speed up the hill.
Oh god, I thought he was going to go too wide. My goodness, I honestly thought he was going to go off. Amazing to use as much circuit as possible there.
That's a lot of curb for the entry to that. Not the traditional line, or probably recommended.
I mean, but these guys are much, much faster than I am, or probably ever will be. So I cannot not question their skills or their lines. They are going to be way quicker than me. Here we go.
Through the penultimate corner.
Yeah, final
and
turn.
Again, right on the limits of that track limit.
Out over the red curb. Here we go. Absolutely flat out to the line, trying to stay as straight as possible. And yes, a 140.518 gets himself on pole. Fantastic effort there.
Bigger margin this time by 0.195, so nearly 0.2 of a second. So definitely pushing, as we now have Vasily Anofriv in the like and subscribe team. In yet another Aston.
Just as a quick one, Marino Verhoeven, I believe I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, probably, I do apologise. 10 cars for 12 hours. No, this is just the Superpole. Tomorrow is the actual 12-hour race. This is just the Superpole. So the top 10 teams, they have their average qualifying put together, and then they are invited this evening to join us for a pre-race Superpole. For the shorter of the endurance races, we're doing them on the same day. But for the 12-hour races, we are doing them the evening beforehand. Otherwise, it's a little bit too much all in one day. So the actual race tomorrow kicks off at 11 AM British Standard Time. So do feel free to join us.
Oh, it's meat snacks. Oh, I will be grabbing a screenshot for Rage, because he will be happy to see Team Meat Snacks. They did it. They had delivery for qualifying, and then they got rid of it for the race, and he was so upset. He was missing his meat snacks.
Oh, on the side of the car, does it say meat snacks? Does it?
Yes, delivery.
There it is. Yeah, so we've got it on the stream now. Back on board. Right, penultimate turn. Really well done through there. Takes a good chunk of inside curb, but avoids the sausage. Final turn. Little clip of the curb. Gets on the power. Here we go. Final run of the line.
Was that a bit of contact on the what?
It's pole! Whoa. It's pole! It is a 1:40.488. Fantastic effort. So our next man out on the circuit.
That's our closest margin so far, 0.030. That is Dominic Goals in the Revolution Sim Racing White. The 22, you had guessed it, Aston Martin. I wonder how many Astons are actually going to be in the race tomorrow.
It's going to be very difficult determining who is who tomorrow, isn't it? It's going to be quite difficult when you're watching a battle from Helicam to work out what on earth's going on. Oh, little bit deep there on the exit, I think.
Wide on the exit, so a little bit of a tighter line. Very wide through the up the hill, and that is a lot of curb. That is a lot of curb, as we have Abeladze. Vyacheslav Abeladze out on track for his hot lap. Taking a lot of curb this Aston, so definitely
really is
pushing.
Yeah, obviously, like I said, now they've got a time to go for. They know they need to beat. Well, they need to be in the 140s now to be up near the top. So they're obviously really pushing. I say, like, if you look at them, they're still all in the 40s. So
I think pole will be 140 flat or 139.
I think the fact that they only have one flying lap, we might struggle with a 39. But who knows? These guys are the best of the best here at Apex.
Heading in the right direction. So
yeah, I mean they're close. That's the thing. It's really a case of you just have that golden lap, and they could do it. So here we go. Decent chunk of curve there. On the brakes, final run to the line now. Again, what are we going to see?
They're watching each other. They're all going to the edge of the track before that final turn now. Ooh,
up into third position. So that was a 140.602. Who's our next man out, Chinson? Who's this?
I will hate to try and pronounce his name. Vyacheslav Abeladze, so quite an infamous name in sim racing. I've seen him out on track myself in another league. He is extremely fast, but let's see how he does in that Aston at Kyalami, because he's only got one lap. He doesn't have about 40, so see, that was very wide through there. Did you see that back end slide a little bit?
I'm on the dash cam, so struggling to see the oversteer, but it did look a little bit messy. That wasn't his best, but who knows?
And we've got Vincent Urbich in the PCDC Motorsports car on the next run.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't want to get my hopes up, but I am expecting a fast time from Abeladze, purely because what I've seen from him, like, both in other series and also, like, just racing against him is just sheer pace. He did do very well in the Lambo Cup at Kyalami, so he does know the track very well. I will say that. So let's see if that pays off for him.
So here we go, coming down through Crocodiles now. Leaves it to the last minute to get on the brake, swings back across.
Very nice and tidy through there. Not running as wide. Nice bit of curve on the entry.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh,
I don't think he could have got any closer than that, could he? All the way out to the outside there.
He hit the AstroTurf on the camera. I've got the left tyres are run a little bit of an adventure.
Oh, and he puts himself in 5th with a...
140.7.
Yep, so mid-pack at the moment. And who have we got out now? We have got... I believe this is I'm going to say Marseille or Hyla.
I'm trying to find his name.
Again,
I'm lost at the moment. Yes.
Yeah, feel free to abuse me in the chat for mispronouncing people's names. I do apologise.
PCDC having a stunning livery. I think me and Rage decided it was one of our favourite liveries from Catalonia, so it was absolutely beautiful. But hopefully we'll see a lot of that tomorrow as well.
So I'm looking at it. It looks like sort of a blue sort of camo almost, sort of like a blue digital camo style.
Little bit, yeah.
With some bright green detailing.
Similar to the F1 Red Bull car a few years ago.
Right, on the dash of him right now. Let's see how we can get on. The only Bentley... Oh, no, sorry. One of 2 Bentleys. Neither of them have run yet, so...
They're both out on track, then.
I was slightly confused.
Final car has been released, so...
I thought I had the wrong camera for a moment, but obviously the camera is on the other side of the dash because it's the only car on the grid that is a right-hand drive as opposed to all the rest of the left-hand drives.
That has the steering wheel on the correct side.
I'm not going to say anything about that. That's...
I'll take the flag for that, don't you worry.
Yeah, you can take that one.
Very tidy. The Bentley can just eat curbs here, so it's I won't be surprised if there's a lot of curbs here. Although, yes, keeping well away from that as you probably should. Let's see. It's very tidy. A couple of alternative lines, especially through the hairpin.
So here we go. What we're going to see though. Up into 4th. So yeah, a 40.698.
And the final driver we have out today is Black Gold Saw from PPR Esports. I believe was our race winner last time out in Catalonia. In the Bentley, or the Boatley, or the Bentley, whatever takes your preference. But yeah, so a lot of pace. So I don't think I caught Superpole last time, so I don't know. I can't remember where they started actually.
Just noticing, massive amounts of curb being taken by Black Gold Saw. Obviously able to in the Bentley. It does like to gobble them up, and he's all the way to the outside as he cuts back across.
Yeah, very wide and...
Yeah, doesn't quite make the apex there, but doesn't seem shaken.
Nearly kisses the AstroTurf on the exit of that long right-hander, which is ideally where you need to be. How much curb does he take? Taking a lot of curb there on the entry.
So here we go. The blind left-hander at the top of the hill. Gets on the brakes, gets across. Massive chunk of curb again. I almost want to say he's staying in 2nd rather than dropping to 1st there and sort of using the grunt of the Bentley to avoid over-revving and losing traction at the top of the hill.
Yeah. Yeah, the only thing that's bad with the Bentley is the gearing from 1st to 2nd, because you never know which one you need. Very tidy through there.
That did look pretty good. So here we go.
go. Final car across the line. Is this going to be pole, or is it going to be top 3 maybe? It is.
It's a pole.
It's pole.
It's pole. So that's 140.221. So that is an absolutely fantastic... I mean, that's 0.02 of a second quicker than 2nd place.
2.5 tenths quicker than P2.
That
is
big old effort that is. That's a really big effort, got to be said. Really well done by him. Okay, I imagine we're probably going to end up having him in a chat. Yes, he's already ready for his interview. So just give me one.
It's like he knew.
It is like he knew. He was prepared. Right, we'll get him in right now. Here we go. You were in the chat so quickly that we're pretty convinced you knew you were going on pole then.
No, I got a message from the moderator to join as quick as possible.
That was some impressive stuff. That was some big boy speeds. That was.
Yeah, it was a decent lap. I mean, I've been struggling all day with tire pressures. It feels like just a coin flip if it's going to be okay or not. And this lap was pretty okay with the tires. So,
I mean, what was your PB round here in the Bentley? Because I'm presuming, have you gone quicker than this? Yeah,
and these temperatures usually my personal best is 39.7.
Okay, so I mean that's not bad. It's only 0.5 off at the moment, and you only had one lap to do it. So you've got all that pressure. So that's a seriously good effort, and you get to start on pole tomorrow. So that's a massive bonus. I think a lot of us saw the start of the previous race at Barcelona, so being at the front of the pack might be a slight bonus for you tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah. After what happened last round, I'm glad we're front row. Yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully you can get around the turn and out the way.
Yeah, let's hope so.
I mean, regardless of where you started last time out in Catalonia, you definitely pulled it off, because it was quite an exciting few last laps for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
So carrying that momentum through into the race.
Yeah, with this round we got a lot of a high chance of rain, so the Bentley is not the best in the rain, but we'll see. We'll try our best for sure.
Well, judging by the times you've put in this evening and the times that your entire team obviously put in through the pre-qualifying, I think it's pretty fair to say that you guys should. I think you'll be all right in the wet. I think you should be all right. Like you said, the Bentley may not be the quickest in the wet, but it's fair to say that you guys are pretty good at what you're doing. so it should make for exciting racing tomorrow. Oh, okie dokie. I think that is us done for the night. Everyone's going to try and get a decent, nice rest before 12 hours of this stuff tomorrow. So do please join us tomorrow. Obviously, 11 a.m. race start. And that's British Standard Time. Yeah, do feel free to come and join us. I'm covering the first 6 hours, and then Rage is going to be covering the last 6 hours of the race. So there will be a little break in the middle, but hopefully only for a few minutes. But yeah, Black Gold Saw, thank you ever so much for joining us, and good luck for tomorrow. Obviously, especially good luck for turn 1. And it's a brilliant effort. Brilliant effort. Thank you ever so much for joining us.
Yes. Right. Take care, everyone.
Thank you. Chinson, goodness gracious, wasn't that some effort? That was that's made me feel particularly bad at this game. When I see,
it's like, I think my fastest time in a Lambo was about a 140.4, and it's just like, yeah, I have no words. I genuinely have no words. I mean, hopefully we'll get a much more exciting race tomorrow. Hopefully a lot of action, a lot of places to overtake here at Kyalami. Lot of risks as well, so hopefully there'll be not too many risk takers in the first few laps, and everything can pan out, and they can let their pace be the judge. But yeah, hoping for a lot of fun tomorrow.
Yeah, it should be really good. I do apologise if my mic has suddenly got really loud. I've pressed a button and I don't know what's happening. So, right, thank you ever so much, Chinson. I will. Well, tomorrow afternoon you're doing coverage as well, aren't you? So
yes, I am on from around. I think I'm on around from around 5 p.m. Might be on a little bit earlier. But yeah, so you may get me again.
Okie dokie. Well, if not, good luck for tomorrow for the afternoon session. And hopefully everyone in the chat, if you want to come and join us tomorrow, that'd be massively appreciated. Like I said, 11 a.m. is when race starts. So the stream should be up a little bit before that, just so you can all get in and get queued up and ready. But thank you ever so much for joining us. And we are going to call it a night now. Thank you ever so much. See you later.
See you later, everyone.